Alice is a charming girl who hails from Indiana. She is a person from the plains to the marrow of her bones, so she never dreamed of mountains and insurmountable peaks. In the United States, she had no friends and relatives, so the girl moved to England. The first 6 months in London were difficult, but soon she met Jake and her life changed. The relationship of the couple is very warm and cozy. They feel comfortable around each other. At the same time, Alice was able to realize herself and take a position in a well-known company, thanks to which her life seems to be very successful. The familiar world of the American beauty collapsed on a regular and unremarkable morning. Saying goodbye to her lover at the subway station, Alice hurried to the office. Stopping at the traffic light, she pressed the button to cross at the crosswalk. At that moment, the girl's hand touched the stranger's arm, and Alice raised her eyes to look at him. The charming man with the sweet smile captivated her, and the girl couldn't take her eyes off him. At some point, she got so confused that she almost passed the office. Only a vigilant colleague managed to stop her. At work, the girl also could not think of anything else but the mysterious stranger. Knowing that he went into the bookstore across the street, she decided to meet him again. After hardly waiting for her lunch break, Alice hurriedly left the office and headed for the store across the street. Peeking at the man through the window, she saw that he had noticed her and was startled. A couple moments later, she dared to look at him again, but the man was already standing right in front of her. After exchanging glances, he invited her into a cab and Alice couldn't resist the temptation. When the car stopped at a stoplight, she began to doubt the right thing to do and wanted to jump out of the cab, but never did. At the doorstep of the stranger's house, Alice again thought about it, but dismissed her doubts and went to visit. From the threshold, the man greedily pounced on the slender blonde and began to kiss passionately, taking off all the excess from her. The couple made love and had a great time, after which Alice ran away. After returning home, she spent the night in bed with Jake, but realized that he was no longer able to satisfy her. The next morning, on her way to work, Alice was looking forward to seeing the stranger. Looking around, she hoped to spot the man again, but it didn't happen. Once outside the store across from the office, the girl saw the portrait of yesterday's stranger and finally recognized his name. Adam is a mountaineer and a real hero. A few years ago, he saved 6 tourists who were in a difficult situation on the top of the mountain. The owner of the shop sincerely admired the deed of his comrade and wrote a book about him. Alice is inspired by Klaus's story and takes a cab to meet Adam again. Excited, the girl is looking forward to the date and spends several hours in the arms of a man. Adam is pleased that a book was written about him, but he is not proud of it because not everything in it corresponds to reality. A couple of years ago, he managed to save not everyone, and among the victims was the man's favorite girl. Taking a fish from an aquarium as an example, Adam explains that on top of a mountain, a man feels the same way, because he is deprived of air and loses brain cells, after which he can fall into eternal sleep. Alice also wants to be open and admits that she has a young man, but Adam is not at all embarrassed by this, because the most important thing for him is that they feel good around each other. In the evening, the girl returns home and tries to act casual. At some point, she realizes that she doesn't want to cheat on Jake, as she is obsessed with Adam and wants to be near him. Alice admits to cheating and breaks up with the guy, ignoring his tantrums and breaking dishes. She goes to Adam's apartment again to find herself in his arms, but is met on the doorstep by another girl. This shocks Alice, because she never thought that her lover had someone else. After getting to know each other, Deborah puts the girl at ease as she is Adam's sister and this is her apartment. Deborah is also a keen mountaineer and was on the mountain at the time of the tragedy, so she understands her brother's bitterness perfectly and is pleased that he has found a new girlfriend. He's been staying with his sister temporarily, so Deborah gives Alice his address and sees her brother's new girlfriend off. Hurrying to meet her lover, Alice realizes that he is not at home and is waiting for a man on a bench. Having met, the couple kiss passionately and go home to enjoy every moment spent together. In the morning, Adam is visited by a journalist who decides to interview him about his book and his heroic act at an altitude of 6 kilometers. Alice answers the phone, but hears only silence in response and does not pay much attention to it. After work, the girl goes to the climbing center. Deborah helps her put on the equipment, but Adam checks the ammunition repeatedly, as if he doesn't trust his own sister. A while later, Alice meets Sylvia and brags about the changes in her personal life, character, and behavior. She used to shy away from open clothes and beautiful lingerie, but now everything is different. A friend does not share Alice's enthusiasm, because intimacy is not the most important thing, and Jake loved her and suffers because of the parting. The girl is not interested in this, because she lives passion and wants to belong to only one man. After the cafe, the girls decide to go shopping, as suddenly an armed robber attacks them and takes away Alice's purse. Adam sees what happened and chases the criminal. After catching up with him at a phone booth, the man punishes the robber severely, and only Alice's screaming stops him. Sylvia sees that the couple are mad, and the people around them do not embarrass them. Adam kisses the girl and, after confessing his feelings, offers to marry him. A couple of hours before the wedding, Alice receives an anonymous letter in which an unknown person suggests not to trust Adam. The girl has no doubts in the man she loves, so she gives the envelope to him, after which the couple goes to the family church. After the marriage ceremony, they walk through the mountains and stop in the garden to change clothes and go on a small hike. At the Angels Monument, Adam takes nude photos of his spouse, enjoying her sexy form. A moment later, he scares Alice with a flare gun, and having loaded the gun, hides it in a special drawer. During the hike, Alice falls far behind as she has poor physical fitness. Adam checks to see if she is okay, but decides not to wait and sets off far ahead. As it turns out, it was all part of the surprise, and he hurries to the cabin to get everything ready for Alice's arrival. The first wedding night was special as Adam decided to completely subdue his wife's body and breath with silk ropes. Upon returning home, the girl receives another anonymous letter, which Alice takes as a threat. She assumes it is Jake's doing and calls him, but learns that the ex-boyfriend has started a relationship with her best friend. In the evening, the couple goes to a climbing party dedicated to Adam. Alice's spouse is surrounded by attention, so the girl feels superfluous and goes to the bathroom. Deborah notices this and helps the girl to relax a little, after which she gives a golden pendant, as if approving of her brother's choice. Sometime later, a journalist calls Alice at work and reports an anonymous letter. She sends the girl a fax, which informs her that Adam took the girl by force in the distant past. Alice wants to understand whether this is true and goes to meet Michelle, pretending to be a journalist. Listening to the girl's story, she realized that all this does not have any evidence. Moreover, Michelle hopes to make money on it. A little later, Alice meets the journalist in a cafe and tells about the dialogue with Michelle, not realizing that Adam is following her. At some point, Alice realizes that Adam tells her nothing about himself, and everything she knows she learned from newspapers and books. The girl remembers about the locked pantry, finds the key, and opens it. Inside, she finds letters from a certain married woman named Adele, who was dating Adam. At the same time, her husband returns home, and the girl hastily hides the evidence that exposes her and locks the pantry. The next morning, Adam tries to expose Alice and realizes that she is lying and hiding the meeting with Michelle and the journalist. He is not afraid to tell the truth as he is aware of the accusations, but they have no basis. Adam and Michelle have known each other for a long time and have made consensual love. Realizing that he became famous, the ex decided to get out of poverty, but she will not succeed. A little later, Claus comes to visit the couple, reminding Adam about the upcoming filming of a TV show. As soon as they leave, Alice looks for the key to the pantry again and realizes that it has disappeared. At that moment, the girl realizes that someone has come in and carefully makes her way downstairs. On the threshold, she finds another letter from an anonymous person, inside of which are bloody silk bandages similar to those used by Adam on his wedding night. A frightened Alice decides to find out more about her husband's past and searches for Adele, but is met on the doorstep by the woman's mother, who informs her that her daughter has been missing for 8 months. Looking through an album, Alice finds a nude photo of Adele and realizes it is similar to a picture of her taken after the wedding. The cops are still searching, and Adam keeps inquiring about the investigation and will be visiting any minute. Frightened Alice realizes that she might confront her husband and runs away, afraid of being exposed. Upon returning home, the girl once again compares the photos and fears her husband more and more. At one point, she notices Adam watching her from a dark corner. The man does not trust his wife and believes that she has a lover. Tying the girl to the table, he forces her to confess everything. Having learned about the distrust, he reveals secrets and throws letters from former lovers at Alice. At one point, the girl goes to the bathroom and escapes through a window on the fire escape. Adam chases her, but Alice manages to hide, after which she goes to the police station and tells everything from the day of their acquaintance. The girl considers her husband a maniac who took the lives of several women whom he could not share with other men. The detective realizes that there is no evidence, and Alice's words and 2 similar photos are not evidence. He reports Adam in the next room, but he has not been arrested. A man comes to the station and reports his wife missing, and brings shoes so she won't hurt her feet. At the same time, the policeman sees Adam's tendency to aggression, so he promises to detain him for a few hours, because he is not capable of more. Alice uses the time advantage and goes to Deborah. Her sister suspects her brother of what is happening, and does not rule out the possibility of substituting the climbing equipment with defective ones. The girls decide to check the correctness of the assumptions and go to the church. Alice believes that Adam is a maniac and hid the bodies of former women there, thanks to which she will be able to send him to jail. Meanwhile, Adam returns home and finds a broken carbine and a couple of photos. Realizing that his sister and wife have gone out of town, he follows them. On the way, Deborah admits that she has been writing anonymous letters and trying to protect Alice. Upon arrival, the girls dig near the Angel Monument and find Adele's body, as well as a gold pendant given by Deborah. Her sister confesses that as a teenager she made love to Adam on this spot, and since that day it has belonged only to her. It was Deborah who took the lives of Adele and Francois, and now Alice will be next. Adam arrives at the church and saves his wife from his crazy sister before punching her in the face. Deborah is ready to take her brother's life so that no one will have him, but Alice saves him by shooting the girl with a flare gun. In the morning, the police arrive on the scene, and the spouses separate without overcoming the test of trust. 2 years later, they meet by chance at the airport. Alice still loves Adam, but realizes that they are different and are not destined to be together. Thanks for watching. We hope you like and subscribe. See you soon.